let's get into it. I'm Amanda. This is Malcolm.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, don't do that. What's up, everybody? We're back with another video, and kind of with the state of the world, I feel like everybody's doing a little bit of the same thing. We're all sitting around going back to work or working from home. Everybody's asking
Basically,
everybody
has conquered Netflix at this point. We've
you
all
been
defeated the mighty Hulu and the Prime and everything of that sort.
Everybody's just asking, what have you been watching?
What you been watching?
What have you been watching?
What other news do we have?
What have you been watching? I don't know. So with that being said, we put together what we think is 5 shows that maybe you haven't heard of or maybe you've been sleeping on. So
5 shows that we think that y'all are sleeping on. Y'all being the world. Y'all being people that want to know what to watch next.
We'll start with number 5. Upload.
Okay.
It's kind of a new one.
Number 5 is Upload.
It's a newer show, 2020. It's on Amazon Prime. If you got Prime, if you can get that or whatever, you know what I mean. It's a good show. It's, I don't know, about the future. It's about technology.
What year was it in? Like 2030 or
20? It's near future. It's near future. I was like,
was it 2030 something?
2030 something. Let's say near future. Just near future.
Right.
They got driving cars. They got virtual reality. We're kind of close to that. So this show is right up my alley, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The premise, without getting too spoilery, is
we'll have to give like an idea of what it is.
Yeah, that's the premise. You know. So basically, what's going on in this show is it's the near future.
Yeah.
Mankind has kind of, in a sense, conquered the afterlife. You can like upload your consciousness to the internet.
That's the main premise of the show.
Yeah,
taking like a virtual afterlife for when you die.
Yeah, and you can.
So you can buy it.
It's
so
like a whole thing.
If you got money.
Yeah.
If you got money.
No, they got stuff for if you don't have money.
Well, I'm saying, but you could, yeah. So the show, follows a guy who, is doing his virtual afterlife, whole thing, and this show was particularly cool because, it showed a lot of interesting things to see that would be futuristic. Like what people might have thought when they seen the Jetsons or something like that for the first time. Oh my gosh, flying cars and whatever.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of little nuggets in there for nerds. They're like, what if that could happen? That's cool.
Yeah, and they had a lot of nice future tech. It's kind of a tech show. It's like everything is app based. So if you're kind of into that nerdy, the nitty gritty of the nerd stuff, all that computer stuff, that's the show. The main character, he's a coder of some sort. Without getting too deep into the show, that's kind of what it's about. If you haven't heard of it, that's why it's on the list.
They didn't even really get deep in though. It's only one season.
One season. It's
kind
new.
Of newer.
That's why it's number 5. Maybe you just haven't heard of this one. It's new.
It's not even amazing. It's just kind of kitschy.
I don't know, man.
It's kind of cool.
I wouldn't say it's amazing. I like how it's breaking down so far.
Okay. On to number. Is this number 4?
Yeah.
On to number 4.
Number 4
is Harlots on Hulu.
It's a goodie. It's 3 seasons, I believe. It's about harlots, y'all. It's about prostitutes.
Yeah. It's set in. Wait, what's the year that it's set in?
It's 18th century London.
18th century London.
Dirty town London.
It follows all these really strong women. It has all these great characters. And they're just trying to work their way up the ladder, and it's gritty. There's politics. There's backstabbing.
It's your typical kind of drama where everybody's trying to get ahead, but it's mostly a female cast, and it's sexy.
And it's shot really artistically, the costuming and the way that it's shot. It's very Moulin Rouge with Nicole Kidman.
True.
It's got the pops of color.
And the soundtrack is real.
Yeah, so 18th century is set to a real kind of hip hop soundtrack.
Yeah, it's got fresh beats.
Yeah.
Tossed in every scene where you can get it, and then everybody's kind of real extra sassy. You know what I mean? So if you're into that kind of show.
It's kind of sexy too. It's a little sexy.
Yeah, no, there's tons of sex in this show. Let's be real.
I'm not saying it's about their sex. It's sexy. It's a little sexy.
Yeah. But there's tons of sex in this show. It's about prostitutes. What do you want from me? It is, yeah, like, you know.
I guess we put it like that.
But sure. Also, it's. I mean, I think the opening credits is flesh.
Flesh.
You know, of the evening or whatever.
Okay.
All right.
So number 4 on our list is Harlots on Hulu. Check it out.
It's 3 seasons.
Awesome.
I think. No, it is 3 seasons, but it's.
Do I have it written down here?
Yeah, it got canceled.
Harlots on Hulu. It got canceled. 3 seasons or something like that. But
it's good. It's good if you're looking for something that's kind of nice to watch and it's 3 seasons. Boom.
Yeah. Boom. All right, number three on our list of the top 5 shows that y'all are sleeping on is.
This is Spartacus. Okay.
Spartacus.
Number 3 is Spartacus, and I feel like I've talked about this show a ton.
We talk about Spartacus.
I quote this show on
Constantly.
the regular. But also, I think everyone does because it's mostly curse words.
No, I've never heard anybody else quote the show because everyone's sleeping on this show. We watch this show twice a year, 3 times a year.
we binge this one a lot because
it's amazing. It's fantastic.
It's packed. It's about the gladiators and obviously Spartacus escaping from slavery and the whole job. The whole show is like Game of Thrones like, but also they pump up the volume with the action and there's like hard rock all the time and blood. It's like 300. Yo, this show is pumped up for real. Mm-hmm. It's like, thank you.
Ding.
This show is for real. So it's action packed. I mean, from the first
but
scene.
It's not just like blood and guts and like beat 'em up. No, it's not. It like really it has a lot of intellect to it. There's a lot of nuances in the show.
You know, we'll get there. You know what I'm saying? But first, you gotta appreciate the action of it all, right? Because it's listed as a drama.
Fighting. It is a drama.
That's what I'm saying. But there's so much action.
So much action. There really
action,
is.
Bro. There's like, it's like 300.
Oh my God.
It's like all 300, but then they throw in some Game of Thrones plot twists in there. Mm-hmm. You know, so, and this is before Game of Thrones in it. Yeah, dude. Spartacus.
Kind of artsy in its own right, like Gladiator was. It kind of has like its moments where they get kind of like creative.
Except for all the sex. There's a lot of sex in this one, y'all, too.
Well, look at what it is.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's ancient Roman, Greek times, so but dang, they didn't pull no punches. They didn't pull no punches in this show.
Love.
Everybody's cursing. Fancy though, okay?
Fancy curses.
But cursing, sex,
and
then they
get
get
the street.
Oh.
But they're fancy.
Yeah, it's nasty too. Don't watch this one if it's not family friendly. I don't think any of these are family friendly. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the cast. Lucy Lawless is in this one, yo.
Lucy Lawless.
What? And she is still foxy.
Also known as Xena Warrior Princess.
She is so
she owns the show. She owns
Lucy
it.
Lawless
she does.
is bae. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm just playing.
I understand.
But for real, she is
okay with it.
So good in this show.
She's fiery and crazy. Yeah,
she's crazy.
Yep. And then the guy who played Andy Whitfield, he played Spartacus in the first season. He passed away from cancer. So what was it? They took a in-between season.
Yeah.
And then they came back picking up where they left off with him after that middle like filler season with Liam McIntyre.
Yeah, Liam McIntyre.
He did a great job.
He did a great job. And he did really good for the acting parts of the show. Awesome. But Andy Whitfield, he looked it, man. He was perfect.
R.I.P. He was the real Spartacus.
Yeah, it was good, man. But they did it right though.
It was amazing.
You know what I mean?
Altogether.
It was so good. They didn't quit, you know, they finished the show. Yeah. And that last season, it's worth it, y'all.
And for my ladies, like, it's not just blood and guts and gore. There's so many sexy men on there. You know, if you're into men, there's so many sexy dudes on there that it's all.
Look, this show is
all I can do.
No, this show is full of gross stuff.
And gross stuff.
It's lots of.
I can't eat gross stuff. Don't make me put Hank Hill back in here.
Oh my God. All right. Yo, number 2. I know y'all sleeping on this.
This one pisses us off.
I've told so many people about this show and
Yes.
no one's heard of it. And
how?
This one is slept on.
So
number
slept
2
on.
is The Leftovers. On HBO. It's on HBO Max now, I guess.
I guess so.
HBO, whatever they call it in these normal days. HBO Max. The Leftovers. It's amazing. I mean, it's a wild ride, dude. Buckle up.
It's like all the disappointments of Lost for those of us who watched Lost a little bit and were like, this is cool, and then it wasn't cool anymore. Like, for people that like that kind of stuff, it's that, like, on steroids. The Leftovers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so one day, just randomly...
2%.
Yeah, randomly, 2% of the world's population just poof, vanishes, just gone. I could be having a conversation with you, and then poof, in front of my eyes, you're just gone. And car crashes, all kinds of stuff. People just disappeared. 2% of the entire world population was gone in the same instant. And that's what gets me about this show,
right? Hold on, because that's what gets me. You tell me that, and I'm like, what happens next? Automatically, I'm in. 2% is a lot of people. The first teaser promo for this show was just some lady yelling at her baby on the phone doing errands, and then all of a sudden the baby was not crying, and, and it was gone.
No, she was in the car. She was driving the car.
No, she hadn't left yet. She was just in the.
She was in the car, and the baby's in the backseat crying, and she's like on the phone or something, or fumbling with everything. And the baby's crying, and she's like, quiet, and she's fumbling, and then the crying just stops. Instant, just silent. Dumb. And so she turns around, and she looks, and the baby's completely gone. It was buckled into its car seat, just gone. The door's not open, nothing happened. And then she looks over, car crash over there.
And
people
for real,
screaming.
That alone, I was like, what?
At the same instant. Everywhere.
They didn't even talk about what happens in the rest of the show for that preview. Yep. I was in. What happens, bro? So
you're making breakfast for your whole family, and then you turn around and they're not sitting at the table anymore. And that's the premise
of the show. What happens to everybody else after these 2% are gone? Everybody on Earth is going nuts. Animals, it's a great show. Because people were for real. Just how do you deal with this? We can't even talk a little bit about it because I don't want to spoil anything.
No,
for real. If you give me 2 episodes, if you watch this video and you care at all to watch something new, give me 2 episodes on this one. And in the comments, tell me if you kept watching. I love this show. It's amazing.
The Leftovers.
I love this show almost as much as I love number 1, and I know y'all haven't heard number 1.
Yeah, number 1's another wound. We should honestly just like watch the whole thing and do like a breakdown of all of it and talk about it like season by season. Right? All right, y'all. Number 1 on our list. This is really special to us, really near and dear to our hearts. Number 1 on our list of the 5 shows that y'all are sleeping on.
And I know you haven't heard of it.
Number 1,
guaranteed,
is Sense8.
Sense8 on Netflix.
Sense with the number 8.
Yes, dude. And this one is another mind boggle of a show. Because we started watching it when it came out. Originally, when did this come out? 2015, right? So we started watching it when it originally came out. And the first episode is like, huh? Like, we didn't finish it, you know.
I needed like 3 times to watch the first episode.
Yeah, we watched it because I read the synopsis and I was like, this sounds like my cup of tea.
Well, we have to back it up again. We have to start with the premise. We have to start with the premise. You really have to accept that it's going to take a little bit of brain work on that first episode.
It's 1 episode to get through there.
The first episode, you have
That's
to...
That's a disclaimer.
Grin and bear it. It is a disclaimer. Because the first episode is hard. It's hard rough. To get there, and we had to stop and restart the show a couple times at first because it's a lot. So the premise of the show is 8 people are connected telepathically and like in other kind of ways.
It's more than that. This show is kind of about a new evolution of humanity. They're not Homo sapiens.
They were born that way, right?
Yeah, they're Homo something else, you know, science fiction-y in the show. But they are, in a sense, these people are born in a cluster. They're all born at the exact same moment. And then they are, since then, connected. And
at some point in their life, they all, you know, they all wake up to each other.
And they can, I mean...
And they're like, whoa, we're all connected and this is crazy and we're all like adults and stuff.
And it's nuts because they, for real, they are really connected with each other. They can feel each other's feelings, think each other's thoughts. They can feel physical stuff too. They can feel each other's pain. They all are sharing this kind of collective life experience.
And they're just all over the world. They're all in different countries. There's 8 of them.
That's another special part about this show. When they filmed this, they got actors from 8 countries.
And they filmed in more countries
on location. Like for all these different people.
It was so. I might have wrote it down. It was like so many countries.
Yeah, dude, they filmed all over. But when they had
it was a high budget show.
When they were filming scenes together, if they had a guy in where's old boy from Ghana or something like that, or Mumbai, and there's a girl in Seoul. They gotta fly them out. One of them's gotta go, and it's nuts. And they got all and this show was expensive, yo. They canceled it like mid-season or something. And we were like, what? After we got into it, we were like,
I think enough people didn't hear about it, but everybody that has watched it is like diehard.
They fought for this show so hard that they canceled it, brought it back, and like, we're going to do a feature-length wrap-up of the show.
They did like a whole movie.
And then we were like, nah, we want more.
Yes.
And they made a whole nother season to tie it up. So that's real special. Like, everybody, the fandom, the directors and the cast, they made another little docu show to thank the fans for this. This is a good one. If you haven't heard of it, I know you guys haven't heard of this one. Sense8. If you can get through that first episode, hit me up in the comments and tell me if you watched this one too. Because it is for real amazing. The way they filmed and tried to get it so you can understand how all these people are connected. It's beautiful. It's firing on all cylinders on this show. That's number 1. You sleeping on it. Guaranteed. I know no one's heard of this one.
I talk about Sense8 all the time, and I can't find my people except for like on the internet,
Right.
I'm serious. Everybody, y'all are all sleeping on the show. Come in here and tell me I'm wrong. Come in here and tell me that you're not sleeping on the show. Come in here and tell me that you've watched the show. I won't believe you. So, please watch it.
Yeah, for real. Check it out.
Yeah.
This show it's for real something special. I mean, it's not, I don't even say it's something special. It's just wild, man. It's a wild ride. It's like 3 seasons. There's a feature movie. It's good. Check it out. And
if you like to get your brain massaged, watch this show. Because it will mess with you a little bit. But actually, it's like very gratifying. Mm-hmm. It's a very gratifying show. So, that is our top 5.
Those are our 5 shows
that y'all are freaking sleeping on.
Yeah, for real.
Recap. What was the recap? Hold on. What was the recap?
Oh, so
Upload is number 5.
Yeah.
What was number 4?
Harlots.
Upload was number 5. Harlots was number 4.
Spartacus
was number 3. The Leftovers was number 2, and number 1 was
Sense8.
Sense8. A play on the word Sense8. Because it's spelled sense. I don't want nobody to come back and say that they can't find it. It's sense, S-E-N-S-E, the number 8. Sense8. You're welcome.
Check them out, you guys.
Come here, you crazy boy. All right.
He's like beating the gates down.
Croc HQ. 5 shows you're sleeping on. Signing out. Can you say Croc HQ?
Croc HQ.
Signing off.
Oh my gosh.
I signed it.
He said I didn't sign it.
You're crazy. Say bye.
Bye.